prolonged war in Ukraine has entered an incredibly volatile phase of attrition, forcing a severe internal reckoning within the highest echelons of the Russian political and business establishments. Comprehensive intelligence dossiers and leaked reports emerging from European security agencies today paint a vivid portrait of a highly isolated President Vladimir Putin facing unprecedented, quiet disillusionment from his own domestic elite, while Western media outlets recently claimed that the Russian leader spent weeks sequestered in an underground bunker due to mounting fears of an internal coup or targeted assassination. The Kremlin rapidly launched a carefully choreographed media blitz showing Putin casually interacting with the public to project absolute confidence. Despite this public show of strength, inside sources within the Russian corporate world confirm a profound, systemic shift in mood this year, marked by a growing, terrifying realization that the administration continues to make self-destructive economic and military decisions that are actively pushing the Federation toward a long-term domestic catastrophe. On the active combat front lines, the human and technological toll of the war continues to break records as Ukrainian forces maintain an aggressive, defensive posture against Russian infantry waves. According to the latest official field statistics, verified by the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine this morning, Russian military casualties have spiked heavily, with hundreds of personnel lost, alongside an unprecedented destruction of localized hardware over the past 48 hours alone. Ukrainian drone networks and advanced air defense grids successfully neutralized over 19843 operational tactical unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and dozens of heavy artillery systems in a single day, severely disrupting Moscow's tactical supply lines and slowing down their planned summer offensive across the eastern Donbas theater. This massive aerial interception rate highlights Ukraine's growing mastery of electronic warfare and automated counter-drone protocols, which have successfully turned the skies above the front lines into an absolute graveyard for Russian reconnaissance assets. The grinding military stalemate has fundamentally broken the economic optimism that Russian industrial oligarchs had desperately clung to during the initial phases of international sanctions. Massive state spending on munitions manufacturing has triggered a severe domestic labor crisis and sent localized inflation soaring, draining essential resources away from non-military sectors and leaving the country's wider infrastructure profoundly strained. Well-placed business figures reveal that while no one expects an immediate, sudden collapse of the state apparatus tomorrow, the elite are increasingly horrified by the absolute lack of a realistic diplomatic exit strategy from the Kremlin leadership as the grueling summer combat operations solidify into a permanent war of mutual exhaustion. The deepening disconnect between Putin's unyielding military ambitions and the grim economic realities felt by his inner circle represents the most significant internal challenge to his 25-year rule, threatening to permanently fracture the domestic foundation supporting Russia's war machine.